Wow, look at this thing. If you were trekking through the deep humid rainforests of the Americas, you might just stumble upon one of the most incredible and downright wild trees on the planet. This isn't your average backyard oak or maple. This is the sandbox tree, also known by its much cooler name, the dynamite tree. Standing tall and proud, sometimes reaching over 100 feet into the sky, it commands your attention immediately. Its trunk is one of its most defining features, a formidable column of wood that looks like it's wearing a suit of armor. You can't miss it, and believe me, you wouldn't want to accidentally lean against it for a rest. The first thing you'd notice, besides its impressive height, is that spiky trunk. It's absolutely covered in sharp, conical spines that jut out like little daggers. These aren't soft little thorns, they are hard, woody, and mean business. They serve as a powerful warning to any animal or any curious human that this tree is not to be messed with. It's a brilliant defense mechanism, a built-in security system that tells the world, keep your distance. This spiky exterior makes the sandbox tree one of the most visually intimidating plants you'll ever see, a true warrior of the plant kingdom standing guard in its jungle home. But as you look up, beyond the dangerous trunk, your eyes are drawn to its magnificent canopy. The sandbox tree sprouts enormous heart-shaped leaves that can be over 2 feet long. These lush green leaves create a wide, shady umbrella capturing every possible bit of sunlight that filters down through the dense rainforest ceiling. They are a stark contrast to the menacing trunk below, offering a softer, more inviting appearance. This canopy plays a vital role in the forest, providing shelter for countless birds and insects that are brave enough to make their home among its branches, high above the dangers lurking below. And then there are the fruits, which are perhaps the most fascinating part of this entire organism. Dotted amongst the giant leaves, you'll find small, pumpkin-shaped seed pods. They are about the size of a tangerine and have these neat little ridges, almost like a perfectly sectioned piece of citrus. They start off green and then ripen to a woody brown. To the uninformed, they might look like a cute, harmless little decoration hanging from the tree. But these little pods hold an explosive secret, a biological marvel that gives the sandbox tree its legendary reputation and its explosive nickname. They are the key to its survival and its spread throughout the forest. So where in the world can you find this botanical wonder? The sandbox tree is a true native of the New World tropics. Its natural habitat stretches across a vast and vibrant region, from the lush rainforests of Central America, through the Amazon basin in South America, and even out to the sun-drenched islands of the Caribbean. It thrives in the warm, humid climates found in countries like Costa Rica, Colombia, Brazil, and Trinidad. This tree is a creature of heat and moisture, needing plenty of rainfall and consistent warmth to grow to its full, towering potential. It's a quintessential part of these rich, biodiverse ecosystems. These tropical rainforests are the perfect stage for such a dramatic plant. The competition for sunlight, water, and nutrients is fierce. Every plant has to develop a unique strategy to survive and reproduce, and the sandbox tree is a master of this game. It often grows near rivers and in lowland areas where the soil is rich and water is abundant. Its ability to grow so tall so quickly is a massive advantage, allowing it to push its leafy canopy above its neighbors and soak up that all-important solar energy. It's a true jungle giant, perfectly adapted to the challenges of living in one of the most crowded and competitive places on Earth. The environment it lives in has shaped every single aspect of this tree, from its spiky armor to its explosive seeds. In a forest teeming with life, there are countless animals that might want to munch on its bark, leaves, or seeds. The sharp spines are a direct response to this pressure, effectively deterring large herbivores like tapirs or deer from taking a bite. The tree has evolved to not only survive but to thrive in a world where everything is trying to eat everything else. It has carved out its own niche, becoming a formidable and respected resident of its tropical home. Imagine walking through this environment. The air is thick with the sounds of howler monkeys and the buzz of insects. The ground is a tapestry of fallen leaves and winding roots. And right there in the middle of it all, stands the sandbox tree. It's not just a plant, it's a living fortress, a testament to the incredible power of evolution. Its presence tells a story of survival, adaptation, and the raw, untamed energy of the tropics. Seeing it in its natural habitat is a powerful reminder of how amazing and complex our planet's ecosystems truly are. It's a living, breathing part of this wild and wonderful world. Now for the really wild part. Let's talk about those pumpkin-shaped fruits. As these pods ripen on the branch, they dry out under the hot tropical sun. The woody material contracts and builds up an incredible amount of tension, like a tightly wound spring. When the time is just right, the pod explodes with a bang that can be as loud as a firecracker or even a gunshot. This isn't a gentle pop, it's a powerful, violent burst that shatters the pod into pieces. Local people and explorers have often been startled by this sudden sound echoing through the quiet forest, sometimes mistaking it for a hunter's rifle. This explosive event is the tree's ingenious method for spreading its seeds, a process called explosive dispersal. The force of the explosion is so great that it sends the flat, disc-like seeds flying in all directions. We're not talking about a few feet. These seeds can be launched at speeds of over 150 miles per hour and travel more than 100 feet away from the parent tree. This is a huge advantage in a dense rainforest. By flinging its seeds so far away, the sandbox tree ensures that its offspring aren't competing with it for sunlight, water, and soil nutrients. It's giving its babies the best possible start in life. Think about how brilliant that is. Many trees rely on animals to eat their fruit and disperse the seeds elsewhere. But the sandbox tree has a problem: its seeds are poisonous. So it evolved its own solution. It doesn't need birds or monkeys to do the work for it. It became its own seed slinger, a botanical catapult. The loud crack of the exploding pod is the sound of the next generation of sandbox trees being born, launched into new territories to take root and grow. It's an independent and highly effective strategy that has allowed this species to successfully colonize large areas of the rainforest. This incredible mechanism is a perfect example of nature's creativity. The tree has harnessed the power of physics, using tension and dehydration, to solve a fundamental biological problem. Each exploding pod is like a tiny, perfectly engineered grenade, designed for maximum dispersal. It's a reminder that the plant world is full of action and drama, even if it happens on a different timescale than our own. The next time you think of plants as just quiet, passive organisms, remember the dynamite tree and its explosive secret. It's nature's own fireworks show, and it's happening in tropical forests all the time. As you can probably guess, a tree that's covered in spikes and has exploding fruit is not something you want to get too close to without being careful. The sandbox tree is considered one of the most dangerous trees in the world, and for good reason. Those sharp spines on the trunk can easily puncture skin, leading to painful wounds that can get infected in the humid jungle environment. Animals know to steer clear, and any person walking through the forest has to be constantly aware of their surroundings to avoid accidentally brushing up against one. This tree doesn't just suggest you keep your distance, it demands it. But the dangers don't stop with the spikes. If the bark or a leaf is cut, the tree oozes a thick, milky white sap. This sap, or latex, is highly toxic and caustic. If it gets on your skin, it can cause a severe rash, burning, and inflammation. And if it gets in your eyes, it can cause temporary or even permanent blindness. Indigenous peoples and forest workers have learned to be extremely cautious when clearing land or harvesting anything near a sandbox tree. Even the smoke from burning its wood can be an irritant, causing severe respiratory issues. Every part of this tree is a potential hazard. And let's not forget those exploding fruits. While it's an amazing dispersal method, it's also a real danger. The shrapnel from the exploding pods, the hard, woody pieces of the capsule, are sent flying with enough force to injure a person or an animal. Being in the wrong place at the wrong time, standing under a sandbox tree when its pods decide to let go, could result in some serious cuts or bruises. It's like standing in a minefield where the mines are hanging in the branches above your head. Animals instinctively seem to know to avoid lingering under these trees when the fruits are ripe and ready to blow. So, while the sandbox tree is an object of fascination, it is also an object that commands respect. It's a living example of how plants can evolve powerful defenses to protect themselves. It has spikes to ward off climbers, poisonous sap to deter browsers, and exploding fruits that are both a dispersal mechanism and a hazard to anything nearby. This tree is a fortress, armed to the teeth with a variety of weapons. It teaches us a valuable lesson. When you're out in the wild, you have to be observant and respectful of the nature around you, because not everything is as harmless as it looks. Despite its many dangers, resourceful people have found ways to use the sandbox tree for centuries, though always with extreme caution. The toxic sap, while dangerous, has been used in traditional medicine as a purgative to treat intestinal worms and other ailments. Of course, the dosage had to be incredibly precise, as too much could be lethal. This knowledge was passed down through generations, a delicate balance between medicine and poison. It's a powerful example of how indigenous cultures developed a deep and complex understanding of the plants and their environment, learning to harness their power while respecting their dangers. One of the most famous historical uses of the sap involves fishing. Some indigenous groups in South America learned that they could put a small amount of the sandbox tree's latex into slow-moving streams or small bodies of water. The toxins in the sap would stun the fish, causing them to float to the surface where they could be easily collected. This method allowed for a large catch with minimal effort, but it had to be done carefully to avoid poisoning the water source itself. This practice shows incredible ingenuity, turning a plant's potent defense mechanism into a tool for human survival. The seed pods, before they ripened and exploded, also had a unique use that gave the tree its common name. The unripe whole pods were carefully hollowed out and filled with fine sand. This sand-filled pod was then used as a pounce pot or a sander. Back in the days of quill pens and ink, before blotting paper was common, people would sprinkle fine sand over the wet ink to help it dry faster. The little pumpkin-shaped pod of the Hura crepitans was the perfect natural container for this sand, which is how it became known as the sandbox tree. It's amazing to think this dangerous tree once sat on writing desks. Furthermore, the hard woody sections of the exploded pods were sometimes used by artisans. They were polished and incorporated into jewelry or other decorative crafts. The beautiful curved pieces of the pod, once the danger of explosion was gone, could be transformed into something beautiful. This long history of human interaction with the sandbox tree is a story of risk and reward. It's a testament to human curiosity and our ability to find value even in the most formidable and hazardous corners of the natural world, turning a plant's weapons into our tools and art. The sandbox tree isn't just a standalone curiosity, it plays an important role as a sentinel in its rainforest home. As a large canopy tree, it provides essential structure to the forest. Its branches become homes for birds, its trunk a habitat for insects and lizards brave enough to navigate the spines, and its wide leaves create shade that allows smaller, shade-tolerant plants to grow on the forest floor below. This creates a multi-layered community, a complex web of life where the sandbox tree is a central figure. It contributes to the overall health and biodiversity of the ecosystem, proving that even the most dangerous members of a community have a vital role to play. What can we learn from this incredible tree? It teaches us about the raw power and ingenuity of evolution. Every feature of the sandbox tree, from its toxic sap to its explosive fruit, is a solution to a problem. It's a masterclass in survival, showing how a living thing can develop a suite of amazing adaptations to thrive in a competitive environment. It reminds us that the natural world is full of complex strategies and hidden dramas. It pushes us to look closer and ask questions, to wonder not just what a plant is, but why it is the way it is. This sense of wonder is at the heart of all scientific discovery. The sandbox tree also serves as a powerful symbol of the importance of conservation. These unique, highly specialized organisms can only exist within their native habitats. Deforestation and climate change threaten these delicate ecosystems, and with them, incredible species like the dynamite tree. When we lose these forests, we don't just lose trees, we lose millions of years of evolutionary history. We lose potential sources of new medicines and a library of biological knowledge that we are only just beginning to understand. Protecting these wild places means protecting these irreplaceable natural wonders for future generations to study and admire. Ultimately, the story of the sandbox tree is a call for respect. It's a wild, untamed piece of nature that reminds us we are not always in control. We must approach the natural world not with arrogance, but with humility and a willingness to learn. Plants like the sandbox tree challenge us, fascinate us, and even frighten us, but they are essential parts of our planet's rich biological tapestry. So let's continue to explore, to learn, and to protect these amazing expressions of life, because out there in the wild, there are countless more explosive secrets just waiting to be discovered. Wow, what an adventure.